following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
My name is Jasmine, and I am a recovering drug addict.
My name is Richie Farrell, a.k.a. the Old White Junkie.
And we are your hosts for Exit Team Nashua.
Our mission is to bring recovery into the living room.
Last year, over 72,000 Americans died of an accidental overdose.
That's almost 200 Americans every single day.
We will bring you guests with real-life experiences with addiction and recovery. Welcome to Exit Team Nashua. Hi, welcome to Exit Team Nashua. My name is Jasmine, and I am your host. As always, thank you for joining us tonight. As you can see, things are a little bit different here. There is a lot going on in the outside world currently, and we thought there is no better time now than to bring recovery right to your living room. With resources limited due to what's going on with the pandemic and the COVID-19, this is exactly what Exit Team was invented for, to bring stories of hope and education and resources right to your living room. And hopefully, if we can do anything tonight, we just inspire someone, or we touch someone's heart, we move someone in some type of way. I'm also really excited for tonight's show. As you can tell, we have a Skype guest. I'm wearing headphones and they might keep falling out. We have a Skype guest, which I'm really excited about because I've actually never met Keriann, our Skype guest, in person. Richie, the founder of Exit Team, who I've been working with for a couple years now, met Keriann, I think it was like over the summer. He was like, I met this girl. She's crazy. She's so crazy. We've got to get her on the show. She's got to be a part of the show. And like every time I talk to Richie, he'd be like, yeah, we got to get the crazy girl on with us. She's out of her mind. She tells it how she is. She has a personality for TV. And he has just been like ranting and raving about how bad he wants to work with Keriann for a long time before she joined us. And so Keriann has recently joined us on Exit Team, and she's now a host of our Boston show. Hi, Keriann.
Hey, hi. Thank you. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. First of all, I've followed you on Facebook for a couple years now. And so I always love what you're doing on Facebook, and I love everything that you post. It seems like we have, very similar personalities and things that move us. What attracted Richie to me is that I'm also out of my mind. Yeah. So we both have I know. I met him. I wasn't even like a year sober, and he was like, "You're crazy." And I was like, "I know, I'm so crazy." Yeah.
But it's awesome when somebody can like see that and point it out in a positive. Like we're used to people saying that in such a negative way, and it's like today I embrace my crazy. Like my crazy is my survival, and it's gotten me through so many things, which you're probably very similar.
And it my headphones keep falling out. It attracts people to you, yes. and so sometimes there are things that I'll call them my character defects that people don't like, but my character defects also serve to attract other people to me, and then I can help them.
Absolutely. I love that. When I met Richie at an event, vigil over the summer. And I actually have a really hard time speaking at vigils because although like when we do our advocating in our public speaking events, it is I-based, but it isn't. It's for the greater good. And so for vigils, I find it really self-centered, me personally, going up and speaking on my personal recovery. I understand the purpose of it, obviously, is to, help the next person. But I feel like we have a platform in so many other areas that we're able to speak on our recovery and help the next, that platform is like the platform to spread the awareness on like not allowing anybody else to die or to fall victim of this. And so when I went up at that event, I had high anxiety. I was like, I don't want anybody talking to me. And I went up, I didn't have anything planned, not that I normally do, but it was very different for me. And right when I got off the stage, he just like stopped me and he was like, that was fantastic. And it was like all just like a blur. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy? Like, who are you? And then I'm like, Oh my God. It's like those people come into your life in those moments where it's like, I still at times need that validation, like, good job, because I always question myself. So I value him. Like, I value his crazy.
He's so crazy, but I love him for it. You know what, Richie, he's not here, but let's talk about him like he is. I would say it to his face anyways. What Richie has really helped me with, especially since getting sober, I've realized, it certainly served me for a long time in my life, but it doesn't serve me anymore now that I want to honor and be authentic to me, as I'm a really big people pleaser. And so when I first started working with Richie, he speaks his mind and he doesn't really care too much if he offends people. And I used to be offended and appalled by it, but now I love him for it. I just love him for it. And just like watching him and how he conducts himself has given me so much courage and inspired me to honor my truth more and to not be afraid to speak on, my perception or how I feel about things or how I see things, just by watching him, because he literally doesn't care. He'll tell you what he thinks and how he sees it. And at first I used to be really taken back by it, but now I'm like, no, he literally is free. He doesn't care.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we almost get to a place where we do want that acceptance and connection. And I know for myself, I don't want to rock the boat a lot of the times because that kind of goes against what I'm trying, like my purpose, what I'm trying to really convey to other people. I don't want to go against the grain. But having that confidence and being able to be like, no, I don't agree with A, B, and C. It's like that allows me to feel like confidence, or maybe so you have the confidence in being like, you know what, I actually don't agree with that. I actually, like, that's your process and that's the way you want to do it. But I feel like we could do it more effectively doing it this way. And he says it with such pride and confidence. And I just love that. I like people that push. I like people that like push the limit a lot of times because I am like that. So
he's definitely like that. I'll have to come down on the Boston show soon.
Definitely. Our Boston show right now has been, because of COVID-19, has per the mayor, Marty Walsh, has kind of been put on hold right now. So we're trying to just come up with other ideas like what you have done here, and just trying to allow the audience to view in a different platform. But once we jump back on, we'll make sure so you and I can actually officially meet in person. That would be fantastic.
You know what I just thought of right here on the spot? We should do like maybe once a week or something until this is over. Maybe like do Zoom meetings, but not like a 12-step meeting, like a Zoom meeting where there could be an interview.
Oh, absolutely.
We could do that right on the Facebook platform.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's really a great idea.
You can set it up for free through Zoom too. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they have free accounts.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, it just came to
because it's hard. I feel like the Zoom, I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of times I've been finding like the Zoom meetings, the larger ones, more difficult and more challenging for me I'm like ADD. So I'm like looking over here. I'm like looking at what Betty Ann is doing in the corner with her cats walking behind her. And I'm like, what is she doing? Like, my ADD is everywhere. So I'm like, oh, this is really hard for me.
Yeah, me too. And also like I'm an extrovert, so I really need like that people connection. And I think that Zoom meetings are great and they're a wonderful resource. So I don't want to diminish them in any way. But for me, I don't get like that connection piece that I need from it, which I'm going to have to deal with right now because we can't get that right now.
Right. So right. We have to go, like, we just have to be adaptable, but you're absolutely right. We are, I guess, blessed in that sense where it's like, thank God thank God we have technology. Thank God. Because like, imagine doing all of this, trying to like, just even get through 24 hours without having technology at all. I'm grateful for that. But I'm also like a hardcore, control freak. So when things
Ayo.
So when things aren't going like how I plan, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm like, Betty in the corner, stop moving.
We did a Zoom meeting the other day and there was a woman practicing yoga and like we could not focus on the meeting because we were just like watching how flexible this woman was and like all the places she was putting her feet. I was just like, what is happening right now? And there was like 72 people in there from across the country.
See, I would have just been like examining. I would have just lost complete focus or like the purpose of why I was in the meeting to begin with. I'm the worst.
You're like checking everyone, like writing an inventory on all of them.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Like, listen, I got enough time on my hands right now. I can write all the inventories all I want. It's terrible though. But on the flip side, like, I know like the booty yoga, the different yoga practice. I'm like, I think this is a perfect time for me to go in my basement and learn this.
Booty
Like,
yoga's hard.
that's what I've been told. And I'm like, I didn't ever want to do it, but I said it yesterday. I'm like, I can do it in my home, the comfort of my home, where if I make any mistakes, I'm not going to like hurt myself over it. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely that platform. It's amazing that all these business owners have decided to, you know, like use their art, use their craft in that through technology. I love that.
You know, one thing that I do love about all of this that's going on is, so like I'm a really big believer in like the dislocation theory. And so like society has become so complex and we've got away from like our original roots. And so like, you know, we've like lost like our family connections, our connections with self, our connections with the world. And so we're all being forced to slow down. And so although I do miss like my human connections, I am finding those deep rooted connections in other areas. Like I'm not going to bed. I mean, like work is a lot, don't get me wrong, but like I'm not going to bed so overwhelmed because normally I work like a crazy job. And then after work, I've got this thing to get to, that thing to get to, and how do I cram all this in, and how do I do all of this, and I still have a household to take care of, and the cats need cat food, and like, and so everything in my life has slowed down so much that like I hung out with my boyfriend last weekend, and I was like, wow, we haven't laughed like this together in such a long time, and like we haven't like, I don't know, I just feel so much more, and I call my parents every day now, and like I go for a walk every day now, and I'm like, holy cow, I forgot like what it feels like to have the spring wind blow on your face, or to like look up and like see the moon and the stars.
Right. I 100% agree. In the beginning, I'm not even going to lie, I definitely had like very high anxiety. Mm-hmm. Again, it's probably my control, right? Because I'm like, my routine is off. This is a fake virus, because I'm all into like conspiracy theories. So I'm like,
dude, I got one for you.
Yeah, I'm like reading all night long. Like, I'm like, oh my God, aliens and
the
world's ending. So, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, like it really freaked me out, because I'm like, you know, my parents personally, they don't, my mother lives down the Cape and my father lives up in New Hampshire. And I'm like, if I had to go to help them, it'd be like more difficult being able to be as available. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm projecting right now. Like I'm totally allowing like my fears to control the stillness of all of this. And it's like, I love how I've seen more families. I've seen more dads like out, like taking their kids, you know, for walks, and families. It's like society has lost that along the way, where it's like that home cooked meal, that essence of family, and you know, that routine of that being our core purpose has kind of been lost along the way. I know for me it has. So it's almost been more comforting seeing just all these families unite. Everybody is like uniting in that sense, taking care of our, you know, our elderly people. But then me, I'm like, my husband's going to be home for how long? I'm like, I can't handle this. But that's just a joke. But it's like our routine is different now, you know, and it's just adapting.
And that's exhausting.
Yeah.
A change in any routine is exhausting. Me and Mason's my boyfriend, we're both healthcare workers. So we're both like, it's a grind time right now for us because we're well, we're healthy, we're young, we're able. So we're just showing up and doing everything we can and then more, because like right now is the time where the healthcare industry really needs the people that are able to do that to step up. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know over here, like it's turning, I was talking to one of the outreach workers in downtown Boston, and I'm like, what can I do? Like, what can we do? And she's like, normally we're used to like, come down. We need everybody to come down and be a part of. And she's like, I need masks. Like, that's what I need. And I'm like, okay. Joanne Fabrics right now is setting up like fabric kits or whatever. I'm like, I will start sewing masks. Like,
that's
however
so
I
great.
can. I haven't started yet. I'm trying to learn how to do it, but I'll send you the end results.
I'm
But
so excited. I'm
it's
so
not
excited.
like, it's like however we have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
be of service, however
Yeah.
we can be of service.
That's awesome. How do you think, so, for lack of better terminology, like I have a lot of interaction with normal people throughout this time and people who are unable to remain grounded. And I'm very grateful for my recovery because I feel like my recovery keeps me really grounded. For you, how do you think like being in recovery is an asset to you getting through all of this?
That's actually a really good question. I'm going to be honest. I practice it for myself. My recovery is kind of a little different than I would say a lot of people's recovery is, where I'm more introverted a lot of the times. And so for me, for the last year, I've been practicing more so on like my own grounding, techniques, my own inner healing. So for me, you know, just like my nature and photography and like trying to jump out of the box of it, my healing has to be, my recovery has to be one way. So for myself, it's just adjusting with, like the Zoom meetings and just various forms of the recovery that I'm used to. But what I've seen other people kind of adjust themselves to and work really hard on adjusting to is like the outside world fears. So it's like bills, work, daycare, husband, layoff, like all of these other things. And it's like, what is our main? Keep it in the day. Keep it in the day. So that's just, for me, that's just what I just try to I can't control anything. I never had control. So I just let it go.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm really grateful. So I try to practice like a lot of mindfulness and just being like really mindful and really present. So for some reason, even since this has started, like I've had the ability to not get carried away with it. And just like I've had the ability since the beginning of all of this to remember, like for me, God is everything. And so God is in this, and like whatever God may be to others, I don't know. To me, it's just like some kind of energy force that like serves the greater good, So like I'm looking for the good in this, and I've been able to find it, and I've been able to actually see the good in others through this as well. And so for like me, it's just I see like people getting really worked up and carried away, and I'm actually really grateful because like I can like be a calm, guiding voice there for them to be like, hey, like, we're going to be okay. Like, look at everything you've been through in your life. Or like, I'm really sorry your husband's out of work. That must be really stressful. I don't know what that's like, but like, I can tell you that you're going to be okay through this. And how can I help you through this? Or how can I help you get to resources? And I've never been that kind of person until I found my way to recovery. And so, being in recovery obviously like helps me help other addicts, but I'm seeing through all of this that like for me, like my recovery process just helps me be a beacon of light for many. No, they don't have to be addicts. Absolutely. Whatever it is you're going through, like how do I help you through this? And just to be really grounded through all of it.
Absolutely. And it's like almost, one of our main focuses all the time is like, just like be what you like, for me anyway, be how you needed somebody to be for you. So how you want to respond, regardless, like if somebody's hurting, if there's panic, if there's anxiety, fears, whatever, be that support that if you can relate to that emotion or that feeling, be that way towards the person that you're seeing is suffering or challenged in the moment. And know, like, everything's temporary. This is not forever.
Right.
This is not forever. And so I agree with you that there's something greater, God, spirit, entity, energy, whatever it is, there's something greater working behind all of this, and it's not for harm.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lesson, there's for good. It's for a positive reason. So I love that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just been able to see good in everything throughout all of it. And I don't want to discredit, because like so many people are facing, I'm really fortunate through all of this. You know, I've been placed in a position where like I don't have financial insecurities through this. My job is not going anywhere. My boyfriend's job is not going anywhere. Like, our livelihood is not being threatened. Thank you, God. But, you know, I know that a lot of people are, but I also know that like they're going to be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we've come from that. Come from that place where it's like, okay, if our job is challenged, we know how to adapt to that. We know, like, we have that fight or flight survival instinct ingrained in us. So it's like, all right, I'm going to start hoarding everything. Don't hoard anything. Don't hoard toilet paper. But what I'm saying is, like, we know be resourceful.
Yeah.
And utilize what we have around us to benefit where we need to go.
For anyone,
in a positive.
For anyone that's watching or like maybe struggling in some kind of way, what are some resources that you know that are available for people right now, recovery and non-recovery related?
I know a lot of, I'm just looking because I don't want to give like wrong information. I know, like, especially in Massachusetts, if you go to mass.gov, they have a list, and it's updated hourly, basically hourly.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, financial services, recovery services, homelessness services, food bank services. SAMHSA also just put out a list of resources for Zoom meetings, suicide hotline meetings, as well as Magnolia New Beginnings has been publishing a lot of up-to-date NAAA, refuge, secular recovery, like all these different Zoom recovery meetings, women recovery meetings. And they've been pretty much updated on an hourly basis. So if for anybody that is watching this and that is struggling, I would say, you know, in Massachusetts, just look up mass.gov and you can be directed. I think the phone number is also 311 in Massachusetts. That it's the hotline that can help basically direct you and guide you for any services that you're looking for.
That is great information. I did not know any of that. I'm really glad that I asked you that, because I can share that with people in my work life as well. So thank you for that. And also for anyone that is watching, we do have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is called I Am a Heroin Addict. So if you have any questions, you can message us, or you need any resources, you can just hit us up on our Facebook page, and we'll get you whatever it is that we can to you. Or even if you're not in this area, we often have people from other states. Like, we have people out west reach out to us. We have people from all over the country reach out to us for resources. So even if you're not from like the New England area, that's okay. We'll go out of our way to do what we can to help you find resources as well. So, well, this has been really cool. I can't wait to see the mask.
I think I'm just gonna make it like a unicorn mask. I think I'm gonna like put.
That's so great. I'm not even gonna lie. When you said you were making masks, like, I pictured them to be bedazzled or something.
Yes, of course. So if I'm not gonna have them bedazzled, I'm gonna have them like The Purge or something. Like, something's gonna be totally crazy.
I would like for you to make me one, please.
Absolutely.
My mom is so worried that I'm not wearing PPE, and I'm like, Mom, like, yeah, I'm like, I lived under a bridge a couple of years ago, Mom. I'm gonna be good. It's all right, but thank you.
Absolutely. I said a few things. I'm like, listen, I've put very unhealthy bacterias into my body to survive. If this is the way it's supposed to be, then that's what it is. But I'm going to take precautions, but I've been through a lot, so I can handle it. Most of us have.
You're also screwed because only the good die young.
I know. I know. I'm like, geez. I thought maybe maybe I was good, but you know what? We'll be like, what's whatever Will Smith movie, like walking around boarded up houses.
Yeah.
At least we can be doing it all together, right?
I got like really sick like 2 months ago. And so one of my friends, they work for a treatment center. They hit me up the other day and I was like, no, dude, I'm good. Like I already had it. I was like, I already had it. And they just keep sending me like memes, like I am legend memes. They're like, this is you. Yeah. You're a survivor. You're a legend. I was like, I know.
Yep. Absolutely. It'll be like you and your snake. You'll just be like walking around with your snake wrapped around you like a weird Beyonce on the Survivors.
Yeah, but way more edgy than Beyonce.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Zen's the man. I love Zen. Zen is my number one favorite thing in life. I got that snake out of a resentment. Me and Mason had when I did what you should not do, and I got in a relationship when I first got sober. And so a couple years into our relationship, we realized, hey, like we're not actually the people that we thought that we were. So we split up for a couple months, and I was like, strong, independent woman, don't need no man. I'm gonna get a snake. And I got him, and he was this little itty bitty snake, and I was so scared of him. I'd like flinch when I'd go to touch him. And now he's like this ginormous snake, and I'm like, get over here.
I see your pictures, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, does she sleep with that thing? What is that?
I love him. He's such a good boy. He's so like, I understand like people's fear around snakes. I get it. It's very legitimate. Like most snakes are aggressive. Most snakes like do bite. Like it's just like their nature. Like their brains aren't like meant to like have affection. But I'm telling you, this snake is so docile. He's so chill. Like the name Zen is perfect for him because he's just like, whatever, man.
That's so awesome. That's awesome.
So the show is like over. So as we're closing, anyone that's struggling, what do you want to say to anyone that's struggling right now?
Just keep the faith, please. So we are all available, all of us. There really is no excuses right now, and you're not alone in this. We are here for you. And it will get better. It has to get better. It has to. So we love you, and please just continue and call us, reach out to us on our Facebook. You can, message either my page or your page, or message anybody, and we're all here for you.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Keriann. Thank you for filling in. Our original guest couldn't be here tonight due to what's happening in the outside world, and you didn't hesitate. You just jumped right up. So thank you for that, because God knows that people need the resources right now. So thank you for joining us, and thank all of you for joining us. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.